Okay, welcome. So this is part two of the video on our recent Texas trip. We were recently in Texas for 8 days, 7 nights. Part one of the series covered the following cities: Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, and Waco. And in part two here, we're going to talk about San Antonio, Houston, Galveston Island, and Beaumont. Okay, so starting off in San Antonio, we stayed at the Hilton Garden Inn. Really nice place to stay. Great breakfast. Unlike some of the other hotels which just had a breakfast buffet, this had a buffet, but in addition, you could get cooked to order hot food. I had a great mushroom and cheese omelet, so absolutely delicious. The only negative thing I would say about the Hilton Garden Inn is it was $39 to valet park, and then we end up tipping the guy that got the car a couple bucks, so altogether it cost us like 40-something dollars just to valet park the car, but the lots in the area weren't any better, so you really don't have a whole lot of choice. I would say it sounds like price gouging to me, although other than that, I really recommend the Hilton Garden Inn. We were able to walk over to the Alamo, which is only a few blocks away from there. They had, at the time we went, a terrific military band, which really made the visit to the Alamo great. The band was terrific. And I'm not much for old buildings, so the Alamo itself, as you know, the site of Mexican independence, is interesting to see and all that, but behind the Alamo, they had some guys shooting muskets and then telling you about the difference between a musket and a rifle and answering questions, and they were really helpful and really nice. So I thought that part was great. We then went to the Riverwalk, which is only a few blocks away. Riverwalk is kind of below street level, so you just walk down a set of stairs, and then just this gorgeous area where they have mostly shops and restaurants, although I did see a CVS there, which seemed oddly out of place to see a CVS, but once again, welcome if you just want to go get water and things like that at the CVS. So we took a cruise of the Riverwalk. It wasn't really that expensive, and it shows you all the hotels, just goes up and down the little channels there, or wherever you call it. And our driver was actually telling us that because the San Antonio Spurs play and then they have a hotel, I believe it was the Hyatt, where they allow the opposing team to stay. They have a deal with the Hyatt to have the opposing team stay there, that she had just driven Chris Paul on a tour a little while before. So that was the Riverwalk. Absolutely beautiful. Highly recommend it. We ate at a place called Saltgrass, which is a chain, but I had a really good burger. I think my brother had a ribeye steak. It was a pretty good place and gorgeous view. At night, we went to a place called Moses Rose's Hideout, which is kind of a dive bar. I wasn't that impressed with the place itself, although I have to say, I had some pretty darn good beef nachos. Their cheese there was just absolutely delicious. So once again, highly recommend the Riverwalk. Then we went to Houston, and as I mentioned in part one, Houston was probably one of the few cities on the tour that I really just didn't like. It seemed crowded and dirty and fairly unsafe, frankly. If you saw some of the characters that were walking around there at night, you wouldn't necessarily feel safe. We did go to the Johnson Space Center in Houston, and that was nice. They have the Space Shuttle Independence there, and it's actually sitting on top of a 747, and you can actually go inside both the 747 and the Space Shuttle Independence. And we took the tour there. I think it was 90 minutes. They make 3 stops, and they have the Orion capsule, the Orion is the next generation of the Space Shuttle, the next rocket program that comes after the shuttle. So, like I said, the tour, I think it made 3 stops. One of them was the control room that they used on some of the earlier flights to manage the flight. So that was interesting to see. In Houston, we stayed at the Holiday Inn downtown near the Toyota Center, where I guess that would probably be where the Houston Rockets play. Holiday Inn itself was fine, decent breakfast. I'll have to say the hot food wasn't great. The sausages were sort of like hockey pucks, but the cold food was good. But I would just say the area at night was not great. So during the day, okay. At night, not great. Then we went to Galveston Island. Galveston, I just thought was absolutely gorgeous. they have something called the Galveston Pleasure Pier. You have to actually pay to walk out on the pier, which I think is sort of stupid. I mean, they have rides and stuff like that if you want to pay for the rides, but they actually make you pay to walk out on the pier. On the day we went there, all the rides were closed, so we certainly weren't going to pay to just walk on the pier. But if you look around there, there's gorgeous beaches right near there, and we went and had dinner at a place called Benno's Cajun Seafood. I had a seafood platter. Mine was good, but it's fried, of course. You know, that stuff tends to be a little bit dry, but basically very good. But my brother actually had the Cajun seafood platter, which is not fried, and actually that was better. He couldn't eat it because the thing was huge, and he gave me a little bit of that, and everything I had was great. I would recommend that place, Benno's Cajun Seafood. Then we had heard that there was an oil museum in Beaumont. So the official name of it is the Spindletop Gladys City Boomtown Museum. So they have a replica of the first oil gusher, which was Spindletop there. We liked the museum, the lady in the gift shop she runs the front gate. It was actually like nobody there when we were there, almost completely empty. She was really nice. The one thing I found frustrating is the actual gusher is not at that site. It's like a mile or two away, and she gave us directions and a little pamphlet on how to find it, but it seemed like no matter where we went, we just couldn't find it. It's near some RV park, and we actually went to the RV park, and she said, oh, it's by an American flag. Well, people in Texas are basically very patriotic, and we saw American flags just about everywhere. So everywhere we go, we'd see an American flag, go, oh, maybe it's over there, and then we'd ask people, is this it? They'd say, no, it's a mile or two away, and then we'd try to find it. So I found that fairly frustrating. You go all the way there, and you just want to see the original oil gusher, the site, and I don't think we actually ever found it. But anyway, overall, we had a really good trip to Texas. As I mentioned, my favorite cities in the first part, the first video, was Fort Worth. Absolutely was nice. I like Dallas and Austin as well, but Fort Worth was my favorite. And also San Antonio, gorgeous, and Galveston Island. Okay, this is John, and thanks for watching.